Well, hello, YouTube family. How are you? This is Bruce coming at you again today.
Next, go straight.
I'm out on a range test today to see how far this bike can actually go. I at least want to be able to go 55 miles because Lori and I are planning a ride to my hometown in Frederick, Maryland, and it's approximately 52 miles.
Now continue straight on River Road.
So you know, all of these bike manufacturers tell you that their bikes can go 300 miles and 500 miles on one charge and things like that. Well, I'm riding a Wallke, as I have in the past. It's a Wallke H6 step through, and it doesn't make any. It says that, I believe it says that you should be able to go at least 100 miles. So, but sometimes even that's an exaggeration of what the bike can actually do. So I'm kind of doing two things: a mock run of where we will be riding to. I'm not going to take the entire length, probably about half. I'm going through Patapsco Valley State Park again. I'm at a different.
Follow this way for 2.42 miles.
I didn't want to have a redundant ride because I was just here 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm picking up where I left off in the park, but this is not part 2. Hopefully that all this won't confuse you. So this is strictly a range test to see how far I can go. I'm going to go up roughly 25 miles and then see how much battery I have and then turn back. Or if I go 20 miles and I only have like 50% battery, then I'm going to turn back. So I've never really put this battery through the test. Like now, I've always just approximated how much. So far, I've gone 10 miles, and I have about 76% energy left. This is a 48 amp battery with 40 amp hours. So it'll be interesting to see so I have approximately 14 more miles to go. We'll see. Beautiful day. It's in the low 70s. Got kind of warm earlier in the week, but we had a lot of rain, and a cold front has moved through. The only bad thing about today, which no one has any control over, is all kind of stuff is in the air. A lot of pollen and stuff coming down from the trees and everything. And I don't have hay fever, but I've been sneezing like crazy because it's so much in the air. Whether you have hay fever or not, if there's enough in the air, it's going to make you sneeze. So that's something that that I'm having to deal with. So excuse all the sneezes I may have during the course. I was going to wear my my goggles and face mask, but since I'm going out alone today, I wanted to make sure that I had all of the tools that I would need in case I get a flat tire or something. So my bag is loaded with every sort of tool that I think, based on my past experience, that I think that I'll need to get this bike up and running if I should get a flat or something else should happen. So, except running out of battery.
Now continue straight on Frederick Road, empty 144.
Oh, okay. Wow. So now we're coming up. It's good to know some bike shops are around here. So now this is Frederick Road. We're about to go into Ellicott City. Wow. So Ellicott City in Maryland is known for the Ellicott Mills, or is it, there's a lot of rich history in this area. I believe the Ellicott brothers came from a part of Pennsylvania, and they set up a steel mill down in this area on the river, and became very prominent in this area. One thing that fascinates me about the early settlers is distance didn't mean anything to them. They didn't have cars or anything. But this is about probably 30 or 40 miles from Washington, D.C. And George Washington was all up around in this area. So after the Revolutionary War, George Washington commissioned the Ellicott brothers to help him lay down the foundations and the borders of Washington, D.C. Now, the Ellicott brothers were very good friends with another prominent
go straight onto Main Street.
early American in this area, Benjamin Banneker. And thanks. Benjamin Banneker lived right up the road here that we're passing.
Now continue straight on Main Street.
And Benjamin Banneker was, I guess, he was a self-taught genius. When he was a teenager, he built a wooden clock. And people came from all over to see this wooden clock that this kid had built. And Benjamin's grandmother was an indentured slave from England. She got sent over here because the person that she was working for in England, she was a milkmaid, and he accused her of stealing a bucket of water. But she said the cow kicked it over. So the penalty for that was to send her thousands of miles. Oh, either she could have gone to jail over there, or she could come thousands of miles to a new continent under harsh conditions to help populate this new land that England was taking over. So after the years of paying her debt to the king and queen, she was able to work and save up her money and buy a little farm. After she bought that farm, she bought 3 slaves. And she noticed that 2 of the slaves would wait on the other one hand and foot. If she gave him things to eat, they would let him eat first, and then they would eat. They would do his chores.
Next, keep right.
And he was kind of taking it easy. So she asked them, I guess she found a way how to ask them after they learned English, why they did that. And apparently over in Africa he was royalty. And
follow this way for 0.27 miles.
And so the other 2 slaves were loyal to his royalty. And his name was Banaka. So she married him. It wasn't unusual for English women to go to the slave ships and buy a slave and marry them, because interracial marriage was not outlawed at that time.
In 750 feet, keep left at the ford. Then in 900 feet, go straight.
It was only after the early settlers were worried about the limitation of resources
in 250 feet, keep left onto Main Street. Then in 170 feet, go straight.
because that back then you could be granted your freedom.
In 140 feet, continue straight on Frederick Road. Follow this way for 0.61 miles.
If you adopted Christianity, you could be granted your freedom. If you worked for a certain, you could buy your freedom. So the institution of slavery was heinous in its form, but in the early days, before they started, developing laws and stuff, it seemed like, from the research that I've done, that there was more latitude with the rights that slaves had. 25 years ago, more than 25 years ago, a number of years ago, I played Benjamin Banneker for this Living History presentation down in Washington, D.C. And in portraying the characters, we had to pretty much become experts on their lives and the history, because as we walked around Washington, D.C. in character, we were commissioned by the city to tell people about the history of the characters we were portraying. So along with me There was George Washington.
At this intersection, take a slight left onto Frederick Road.
Who gained a lot of popularity because at the, I think, anniversary of Wall Street, he was he got to be on the cover of the New York Times on Wall Street. His name was Bill. I can't think of his name. I don't even know if he's living now. Oh shoot! How you doing? I hope I don't get a flat tire. I heard a big pop on there. Under my wheel, hopefully. These wheels are said to be puncture proof. I have ultraverses, and so I'll see if they live up to that claim. So anyway, in this acting troupe we had George Washington, Martha Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and myself, and the town crier. We also had, shoot, I can't think of her name now, Harriet Tubman, too. So for 2 or 3 weeks, oh, I know where I am. Under the raging sun of Washington, D.C., we walked around for 8 hours a day. Man, that was tough. They asked me back the following year, and I said, no way. Because by then I had become more established as an actor, and I was working on a regular basis. And I think I was about to go up to New York, too. Oh, go ahead. A lot of we just passed through the downtown of Ellicott City, and now we're more in the suburbs, and there's a heavy Korean population in this area, along with a lot of Korean restaurants and businesses. So anyway, getting back to the story of the Mills brothers and Benjamin Banneker.
550 feet, turn right onto North Chatham
So
Road.
Benjamin Banneker also was a self-taught physicist, and he was an expert on reading the stars and surveying and
Now turn right onto North Chatham Road.
navigation. He wrote an almanac. I don't know if
Follow
it
this
was
way for 2.25 miles.
if it was just one almanac or a series of almanacs that he wrote. But that was really something back in the day, to be able to write an almanac to, predict what the weather was going to be. And they found it even more fascinating that a black man was able to do this. So he was Benjamin Banneker was a guy of very good repute. So anyway, when George Washington asked the Ellicott brothers to get involved in helping him lay down the foundations of Washington, D.C., he said, "Oh, I know just the man for this job who would be much better at it than what we are." So he got Benjamin Banneker involved. It was a big deal for them to get a black man involved in the project because George Washington had many slaves themselves. And from what I've read in history, he was not a, I don't know if he was, no. Man, this guy pulled teeth from his slave's mouth so that he could build a set of dentures for himself. And he regularly had relations with the slave women. I even used to work for a black guy who when he was a millionaire. Now, when George Washington died, he did ask Martha Washington to free his slaves, and because he had so many mixed kids running around Mount Vernon, when he died, or along the course of the way, he would give them a bunch of property, which is why the guy that I worked for, I forgot his name, it's been so many years, he had a lot of money from all the property that George Washington had left him. So anyway, Benjamin Banneker went to Washington, D.C., and they worked at night because they used the stars to for surveying back then. I guess surveying in its primitive form.
In 750 feet, go straight onto Michael's Way.
From what I recall, from what I've read, they would wait at night, and they Benjamin Banneker would stand on the highest point in Washington, D.C., which I think was over on the Virginia side. But back then,
now continue straight on Michael's Way.
Maryland and Virginia had donated an equal part of territory to make Washington, D.C. So the place where he stood was in Virginia, and they used torches to signal, going right, going left, depending on what the stars told Benjamin Banneker, where to lay the borders of Washington, D.C. Later on, Virginia got pissed off about something and took their territory back. So Washington, D.C., originally it was in the shape of a diamond. Sorry, that stuff that's in the air is going, I'm breathing in. How you doing? But if you look at the shape on a map now, you'll see that the diamond is incomplete. That's because Virginia took their territory back. So when Benjamin Banneker was staying in Washington, D.C., the hotels there didn't let black people stay in the hotels. So to get the hotel that he stayed in, they lied to the hotel owner and told him that Benjamin Banneker was an African dignitary. And Benjamin Banneker went so far as to talk gibberish to prove that he was from Africa. So it's okay to go on the sidewalk? Thank you. How you doing? Well, pretty good, thanks. Yeah, thanks. You too. So on one of these trips, I'm going to go to the Benjamin Banneker Museum. That's right on the property where Benjamin Banneker lived. Hi, how are you? Good. Take care. Thank you. How you doing? Oh, thanks, man. So on one of these trips, I'm gonna go as I said, to the Benjamin Banneker Museum, and maybe they'll let me ride around. They have different trails around this farm. The foundation of like the barn and stuff is still there, so it's kind of fascinating. He died in 1826. And during his funeral service, although he was a gentleman of well repute. How you doing? Although he was a gentleman of well repute, during his funeral service, someone set his property on fire, and that's something. So tell you something about the so anyway, all of this is new to me. When I say all of this is new, I mean the area. I'm somewhat concerned because I've only gone 16 miles and 60% of the battery is gone. But you know, as I'm thinking about it, if I were to turn the bike off and
in 700 feet, turn left onto Postwood Road.
And start it back up, I know that it would rebound back up to probably 70%. So reminding myself of that, I feel somewhat comfortable.
Now turn left onto Postwood Road.
I'm still going to go up 25 miles I bought my charger along just in case. So
Follow this way for 1,200 feet.
I don't know where I would find to recharge. Maybe at a public library or something, or 7-Eleven. But as I said, I've tried to come prepared. Nice area. This is part of Howard County.
In 650 feet, turn right onto Bethany Lane.
I hope I didn't bore you all with that bit of history. As I understand it, I'm sure people may have read
In 250 feet, turn right onto Bethany Lane.
different versions of it, but that's the history of it that I know.
Follow this way for 0.3 miles.
A deer. Okay, so we're crossing over Route 70. Is it okay to ride on this part?
Yeah, but when you buy that little small rolling thing,
Yeah.
like it won't be a problem if you ride in front.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just didn't want to look at all. Okay. I was wondering if I stayed off the blacktop and stayed on the shoulder, if that would be okay.
Until you get to that road, 'cause it might be too hot for your tires.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, how are you? Fine, thank you. And you all don't get bent out of shape because I'm on the wrong, or opposite road, opposite side of the road. Even the car is on this side. So. As a co-worker of mine used to say, don't get your panties in a wad. Hi, how you doing? All right.
Take the next
How you doing?
left. Now turn left onto West this way for 0.53 miles.
Nice neighborhood. Well, I like how this app
This way for 0.42 miles.
is taking me through these back roads. I'm using the Komoot app. Man, this is a very nice bike tour. It's very pleasing to the eye. I'm in P2. I'm really curious. I mean, I'm going to post this on the Wallke site.
Take the next left.
Because there's always people saying, oh, I was in P3 and what this battery's got. So this road takes me up into an area called Woodbine and Lisbon. I always have liked that name, Lisbon. But I don't know if we're going to make it that far. Because I've got 4 more miles to go before I turn back. And during the pandemic, live shows were very scarce, and the revenue that I was able to earn dropped drastically down to little or nothing. But what helped to get me through that is there were a number of outdoor events, and there was one farm that would hire me. They had a sunflower festival that lasted for 2 or 3 months. And God sent an angel my way. Can't think of her last name, but Danya. Danya got me tied into different like farmers markets and things. And you know, when I first started out singing again, before I went full time in 2009, Danya was a manager of this restaurant and some organic grocery food stores. And certain people just have a personality that reminds you of sunshine. That was Danya. And I know when I was started out in singing, I said, wow, it would be great to have her for somebody like a manager or something, because she just believed in what I was trying to do at that time. And but her journey took her in a different direction. And we were Facebook friends, and all those years had gone by. And what you know, in 2020 or 2021, she gives me a call out of the blue. I had not even spoken with her, and she asked me if I would be interested in doing farmers markets and entertaining the people at the farmers markets. And man, that's why, you know, I feel sorry for people who don't believe in God, because, you know, they just don't know what they're missing out on.
700 feet, go straight onto Old Frederick Road.
So anyway, that lasted, I mean, it was only over the summer, but that was work that I didn't have. And
Continue straight on Old Frederick Road.
you know, those shows help keep the lights on and help me to eat. So I thank Dondra for reaching out like that, but all praises go to God. Okay, well, this is percent. It's 24 miles. But you know, I'm still very curious. I wanna really push this bike. And see just what it can do. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's at 45%, 24 miles. But I really want to see what this bike is capable of. Because it's the best that I know now. Before I take it and have to rely on it and it falls short. I may even go up to 26 miles because that'll be exactly half of what the trip is supposed to do. Too close to the edge. My balance. Usually on these hills I would use the throttle to help, but I'm just doing all pedal now, pedal assist. I've been doing pedal assist almost the entire way. Okay, so we're at 25 miles an hour and 44% battery left. So I'll go up to 26 and then turn around and go back home. So I hope when I post this, Wallke also watches this so they can see real time how their batteries hold up to what they claim. What I would really like, there's a space in the body here on the bike where I can put a second battery, a smaller battery. It's still 48 volts, but I think it's something like 20 amp hours. I would love to get that, but I haven't been able to see that on Wallke's website, so I don't even know if at this point that is possible. I mean, it would certainly be nice to have. Because I know then I would have the ability to probably go between 60 and 80 miles with that. Okay, so that's 26 miles. So I'm going to turn around. That's a strange looking tree up there on the horizon. So I'm going to turn around and head back home. And hopefully, Lord willing, I'll be able to make it all the way back without the battery running out. So with that, let's do a UE here. Move them out.
You're traveling in the wrong direction.
No, I'm not.
Take a look at the map.
I'm looking right at it. I've been on this bike for a couple of hours at least, so I think I should get off and take a water break.
You're traveling in the wrong direction. Take a look at the map.
Well, I hope I'm not going to hear that the entire way back. .44% battery left, and 26 miles to go.
You're traveling in the wrong direction. Take a look at the map.
I'll just turn the volume down when I stop to stretch my legs. We'll stop here. Well, I'm gonna turn the bike off and see what it rebounds up to. But usually, you know, it rebounds, but All right. Okay, that's what I was just going to do. Turn the sound down here. I'm going to... I've always said I wouldn't turn down the sound. Well, let's see what it rebounds up to. Okay, so it rebounded. It went from, as I thought, 44 to 54. I mean, that's good. I mean, if it holds at 54 for a while, but if I go a mile or two and it goes right back down to 44, what good is that? So I'm going to go after this truck here. And an adequate rest. Whoops, I keep forgetting to put down that kickstand. Man, that's gonna... I've heard people forget that they say they forget to put down their kickstand, and before they know it, they hit something and the kickstand just is ripped right off. And I don't want that to happen. So away we go. Would you like to ride on my beautiful Wallke? Would you like to ride on my beautiful Wallke? See, it's gone down to 50 already. Just going a few hundred yards. Probably not even a few. I'm sure it wasn't the singing that took it down that fast. Truck passed and white mist came off that truck. Now it's down to 47. So yeah, these batteries can rebound, but within seconds, they're right back to where they were. Now it's at 46. Nice to go downhill because that will certainly preserve the battery, and that will kind of tell a story of why the energy gets used up so fast. I didn't notice we were going uphill a long way. Right now it's at 46%. It was like at 44 or 43% when I turned around. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. It is what it is. And I'll just have to deal with whatever the situation dictates. Beautiful country though, right? Little pony laying down in the field. This truck. Just gonna see something. I tightened the front wheel because yeah, it's fine. I noticed the bolts are a lot looser than what I thought, and I'm hoping that I didn't over tighten to impede the tire, but I didn't. I may have to put this in two parts because it's so long. So there's a lot of downhill here, which is excellent because all of this is helping to preserve the battery, and it's also explaining why the battery depleted in the way that it did. I didn't realize I was going up so many hills. Man, the house is literally just falling apart. I actually think I'm going to be okay. I have 20 miles to go and I'm at 41%. So, that's a good sign. Oh, jeez. They're doing some road work. I see a bunch of dust.
0.47 miles left of you.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't go another way. Look at all that dust up ahead. I'm going to have to breathe in. How you doing? Not bad, not bad. There's a lot of dust they kicking up down
I
there.
don't think you want to ride through that.
No, I don't think so either. Man. Is it got,
Right, boy, that thing way right there.
oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, it goes up to, I've gone as fast as 38 miles an hour on it, but it eats up the battery when it goes that fast.
How long does it keep it on?
I'm finding that out today. So far I've gone 36 miles. I came from BWI, and I went close to like Lisbon. So I hope I have enough to get back home.
How far you gotta go?
17 more miles. So and I have 37% left. So
You should be-
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But just so happen that if that don't happen, you got a fast charger or something?
Yeah, I got it in.
Everything else.
I hope so. I've been on some real adventures. Like the tire will go flat and everything. So well, I think I'm gonna. It seems like it's not as much dust.
We're trying to do is water that and keep it safe.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what the water's for, to keep. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will go now.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, all right.
All right. All right. Thanks. Be cool, man. How you doing? Thanks a lot. Take it easy. Thanks, you too. Okay, that worked out well. Oh, thanks.
0.53 miles left of you.
I took some ibuprofen before I left home, so I hope that'll keep me from getting sore. Okay.
The tour is 0.38 miles ahead of you.
Okay, so she's saying the tour is ahead of me. So hopefully we'll get back on track. Well, we always were on track. Just want to make her happy. We won't have to hear her mouth. Okay, 15 miles to go. So hopefully 15 miles and 36% battery, I should be okay. And hopefully I can, I'll be home in an hour. So 3:30. That'll be good. I haven't eaten all day, so be great if I would pass by a hamburger joint, but I don't think
1,200 feet left of you.
I didn't pass by any on the way up, so I doubt if I'll pass by any on the way back. I'll just have to rough it. What is this ahead though? Well, here's a giant. How you doing? Oh, a McDonald's. That's why I say, isn't God wonderful? Oh man, a sight for sore eyes.
The tour is 0.34 miles left of you. The tour is 0.38 miles left of you.
Hello? 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 Hi, I was trying to order, but I don't think the sensors picked me up. Okay. Could I have a double cheeseburger, a McDouble, and a small fry, please? And that's all. Yes.
$10.78.
How much?
$10.78.
$10.78.
Yeah. Double
For
cheese, a double. Yeah.
a McDouble and a small fry.
And then double cheeseburger.
No, I'm sorry.
So just a McDouble and a small fry.
Yeah, yes.
$6.55.
Okay. See why I looked at you. Okay, thank you. Hi, how you doing? McDouble and a small fry, yes. Thank you. Thanks, you too. How you doing? Good.
The tour is 0.36 miles left of you.
Well, I'm gonna go, it says one way, but I'm gonna go the way I came. Oh. I'm just gonna find some place to eat now. Can't see past those cars. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Nice of them.
The tour is 1,300 feet ahead of you.
Oh wow, this brings back memories. I remember that place. It's a religious organization. One of the worst periods of my life, besides the pandemic. It was during the recession, the Great Recession. And I got laid off.
The tour is now ahead of you. Prepare to go straight.
I got laid off, and it took me a year and a half to find a job almost. So I got this job, if you want to call it that. It was really just a scam. I wish that I knew that. I wish that I could remember the name, because I would surely say it. Because they were just a bunch of scam artists. It was getting people to switch their electric to their company, and they were claiming to give all of these discounts and things like that to the people who switched. And not only were they lying to them, they were lying to us as far as the commissions that we would make. And it was during a period where I really needed that income, and they ended up ripping me off. And I essentially worked for free. So I just eventually people like that get theirs. So, but I got through it. Well, I'm hoping the
Next, keep right, then go straight.
I'm hoping the park is nearby. So that I can maybe sit at a bench or something. And eat a comfortable meal.
Now keep right, then go straight.
I mean, it's just a burger and fries, so.
Now continue straight on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
Follow this way for 0.44 miles.
Oh, I know where I am. I'm about to go into Ellicott City. Downtown Ellicott City. With this, ride is coming close to an end for you all, because I don't want to have you all stay with me while I retrace
Next, keep left.
where I've been before and have you see it again. I'll leave
Now keep left.
I have 33% battery left, and
Follow this way for 0.81 miles.
I don't know how long it's going to take to get home, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I was able to make it home or not on the charge that I have. I'll just write a text on the screen and let you know that I made it. This is such a cool area, and the people are very cool. Kind of like has a retro 60s or hippies type of feel to it. But the problem with the area is that it floods this river that runs through the city.
In 750 feet, go straight onto Frederick Road.
If we would have days of like rain, it would just flood this entire area and put all of the store owners out of business, to the point that they couldn't get insurance anymore.
Now continue straight on Frederick Road, MD 144.
Because every 5 years or so, we'd have a heavy rain or hurricane or something would pass by, and it would just flood the city out. But I think they made the problem why it kept flooding is because they were building years ago. It was underdeveloped, so where you see all of these trees, the trees would drink up the rainwater, but they started building all of these neighborhoods around that people wanted. It was too much concrete, and not enough vegetation here to absorb the rainwater that was coming down. So it flooded the area. You know, so that's a lesson. What happens when you try to work against nature and do things man's way. So
Follow this way for 1.87 miles.
So I have 12 miles to go to get back home, and I have 33%. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be okay.
Now continue straight on River Road.
So I'm going to stop at the first picnic table that I see. Man, as soon as I come back here, immediately things start to blow into my eyes. Oh man. Should have worn my goggles. Well, I didn't know, so. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Just have to deal with it. Well, I've gone 41 miles. This is the longest that I've ever have been at one sitting on this bike. So I feel relatively okay. So when Lori and I go to Frederick, we'll probably leave on a Friday or Saturday and take a day to get there. They'll probably take about 4 hours. And we'll grab a hotel and stay there from Friday, take the evening to recoup. And then stay there till Monday morning and make the ride back Monday morning. That'll give us plenty of time to get over any soreness. I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow after this ride. I haven't gotten to the park yet. But it's close by. I'm getting to the point though where I'll be signing off pretty soon. So thank you all for hanging in this long. Like I said, I might put this in 2 parts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And help us get to our goal of 1,000 people. That's not a lot, right? You all can do that. So that we can grow this channel into something glorious. Patapsco Park, 0.3 miles away. Okay.
Next, go straight, then turn left.
All right, folks. Well, I'm just going to sign off here. Thank you for staying and supporting the channel and my efforts. God bless all of you, and have a wonderful day. See you next ride. Bye-bye.